Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm going to be loading a drawing in just with some attributed data. What I'm going to do is run a macro which is basically testing both internal access to a new database engine that I've developed, which is based on SQL, and then also going to an external database, in this case Access. So what I'm going to be doing is running a macro that selects some attributes, some patterns from the scope here. It's going to create a table in memory in the first place when we're using the internal database, and then produce a graph which we're going to put over here, and we're also going to have a report over there. Then I'm going to change one line in the macro just to say that we're using the external ADO provider, and I'm going to run through the same macro. So I'm just going to run the macro. And that's created a pie chart. It's created a report here as before. I can actually zoom around this, go into the pie chart and just do something like that over there. I'm just going to edit the macro now just to say that instead of using the internal database, I'm going to be using an external ADO database. So I'm going to change, sorry, that was actually done using the external database. So if I load up Access here, and there's a table called patterns, which is the one that I created. That actually created the patterns. You'll now notice that there's a unique pattern ID that system created in there, and we're actually looking at the data directly in Access there at the moment. So I'll just minimize Access, and then what I'll do is I'll run the same macro, but I'll change the output or that it's using the internal database. So I'm just literally going to run the same thing, and nothing really should change other than that I'm running it again. And you'll see there that it refreshed the screen over there. If I now look at the databases just in memory here at the moment, here is just a dump from the data that's contained within the internal database. And if you compare that to the data that was in Microsoft Access, you'll see that it's identical. So we can now use the internal database engine using SQL language to do things, or we can go outside. The macro in actual fact has changed the same, and it is just internally the engine can now be used for different applications. So there you go. Thank you.